we're gonna go do some seeds. Get you some seeds started. I'm kind of behind. I needed to get this done already. It's pretty windy out here, so we're just gonna go ahead and head on into the shop and do it. So here we go. All right, so here's some seeds we're doing. We're gonna do some chili peppers. We're gonna do some bell peppers. Might as well throw in a little bit of cucumber. I got some kale, some tomatoes, beefsteak, and then I got some of these from the dollar store, and they're microgreens. So there's a mix in there, and so I'm gonna be doing a little bit of those as well. You don't have to put them all together and make them microgreens and grow a whole lot. You know, you can do individual seeding and still grow them up to where they're mature. So you can do it that way. So some of you may have seen this. You can get these at like your local dollar store or Walmart or whatever, but you can use one of these to try to like make things easier on you. And I'll show you how to put them in there and get them all going. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And then also maybe I'll show you this double cup method. So stick with me real quick and we'll get this done. All right, so things you're gonna need. You're gonna, obviously you want your seeds. You're gonna have some kind of medium, whether it be soil, root plug, starter rooters, rapid rooters they call them. You can do it in rock wool, which I don't have any to show you, but it's a little bit of, well, I can show you one right here. Hang on a second. So like this would be rock wool. I'll even do one in that. I can use that right there if I want. So yeah, let me show you some how you do it in rock wool. Now, if you don't have any of these, or I mean, you don't want to go buy them, okay? If you don't want to go buy them, you can use cups. You know, you can use cups. You can use little you know, sometimes you'll get these from like your nursery where you're getting flowers and things. Well, you can recycle these. You know, use them, save them, and you can reuse these right here. Okay, we'll do some in some cups or some I don't know what you want to call them, little soil starters, but a lot of times you'll get those from your Walmart or your Home Depot or whatever when you buy things. But if you want to use solo cups, let me show you a little trick. So everybody talks about the double cup method. Now what the double cup method is a lot of people will use the double cups just like that, okay? And they'll do holes. You can see these holes on there. They'll do holes on the bottom, and then usually they won't have holes on this, and it'll drain into this and keep a little bit of moisture in there or whatever, and your root system gets down in there, and then they'll take them out. And when roots are poking through these holes and stuff, I mean, you know you need a transplant. But let me explain something. This is a lot better. So you're going to use your red solo cup. Start the music. And you have clear cups. Make sure they got holes in those as well. Now I like to have holes in both of them so they drain out. I'm not trying to keep any water in there. But if you'll use the clear one, put it in there, okay? Then every once in a while, if you want to come check and see how your roots are doing, if they're growing out the sides or whatever, you just pull this out and you just look at them. Way easier. And you'll know it's time to transplant. Or if you're going to go ahead and put them straight out into soil or raised beds or whatever. But it's just way easier to do. You just, little tip for you, just slide it in there, okay? Way easier. And you can definitely monitor that, how your root system is doing. So that's my little trick for you. And anywho, I'm going to get this camera set up and I'll get to putting these in, and we'll put a little RO water on them, reverse osmosis. Our water out here is not the best. It has a lot of manganese in it and iron, which you need some of that, but you don't need as much as we have. And I've seen it do a number on some plants around here when it's not diluted. So I just go ahead and do reverse osmosis water and use that, so there's no problem. So like I said, get this camera set up and I'll get to putting some of these in. Okay, so you want some plant stakes where you can mark them, CP for chili pepper or chili, however you want to do it. And just get your tags made up. Take your, make a little hole. So easy to do, everybody. I mean, not rocket science. And drop it in there. And that's just one at a time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come through here. I'm just going to make a hole in each one. Some of these are really low on soil. Probably, you know, once these get started and you get your first set of leaves going, you know, let me put a little more soil over here. Anyway, once you get, like I said, once you get your first set of leaves up and going, you're really going to want to go ahead and have them under a light source, or, you know, on a windowsill, however you want to get light to them. But you really don't need that light until they sprout, okay? Once they bust through the soil, then you're going to want to get light on them. So I'm a grower, not a shower. All right. Now, obviously, all these aren't going to be chilies, but we'll do a few. I think I'll do a row. Okay, and save your seeds, you know. If you don't use them all, that's fine. Repackage them, keep them in a moderate temperature. This way, if I'm doing a whole row, I can just use one stake, one plant tag, okay? I know all of those are chili, okay? Next, let's do some kale. And the kale seeds really don't need to be in there deep. Let's see. Let me get these out. I tell you what, if you don't separate them in your hand and you just try to grab some and drop them in, you'll wind up having several in one little hole, so we're not going to do that. It's amazing how, now that was not a real seed. There we go. It's amazing how this little bitty seed will turn into something so big and good, you know. Kale's great. I love kale. So, all right, we'll mark that up. We got our kale. Boom. Done. Done, son. All right, next, let's do some cucumber. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. How about bell peppers? Who doesn't love bell peppers? I'm not a big cucumber person, but my wife likes them. So I pretty much just grow those for her. Bell peppers, yeah, good stuff. Chili peppers too. I'm not eating those either. Or jalapenos. I'm not a spicy person. There's that. That. Not sure where that little sucker went. Oh, it's in there. Okay, we're good. All right. Got the bell pepper. I almost didn't make a cucumber tag. Here we go. All right. We got the cucumber done, bell pepper. Okay, what do we got here? Tomatoes. Okay. If I can get them to come out, folks, we'll plant them. Huh. Save it. I didn't want to come out of here. All right, so there we go. Got the tomatoes going. Still got a few seeds left. So that's it. I'm gonna come back in here. Oh, we should probably make some tags. So these are both gonna be tomato. Kind of smeared that one. That's all right. My writing's horrible anyway. Not like you can read it. So we got our tomatoes marked. Got that part done. All right, now come back in here and lightly just cover your seeds. Make them happy. Those seeds cover. You don't have to. You don't want to compact them, okay? You don't have to sit there and pack them in like crazy. Now later, when you're like transplanting, you kind of want to have a firm transplant. Good, you know. Now you want good seed to soil contact, okay? So I'm just barely tamping down on them a little bit, but nothing crazy. Plus this is really dry soil here, so you probably couldn't really hurt anything by pushing down on them too hard. Another way to do this is you can do a paper towel method. And basically what you do is, let me show you real quick. You would take a paper towel like this, okay, you would wet it, put your seeds in here, fold it over, maybe one more time, and you want it, you know, you want it moist, you want it wet, you don't want it just like sopping wet, but good enough for them to germinate, and they'll sprout out, and when you open it up and you start having a taproot on there or whatever, then you can go ahead and plant them into something like this, okay? But I will tell you this, if you use the paper towel method and your taproots get interwoven into this fabric and you go to pull them out, and I've had this happen, you go to pull them out and everything and ruin that taproot, you're done, okay? So that might not be, like I said, it's either or. You can do it and try it, see how you like it, but I prefer to do it this way right here, okay? With these. And like I said, now that's the little starter kit, seed starter deal. Let's do a cup. Let's do a double cup. And all I'm using for this is, oh, and by the way, we're gonna put all these seeds total darkness, okay, till they sprout those first couple of leaves. Then we'll put them on some light. So what I got here is, I'm using Mother's Earth cocoa. It's a 70-30, 70% cocoa, 30% perlite. You can see the perlite in there, okay? Drop it down, boom, got it in my double cup method. Make a little indentation, no big deal, and you can plant whatever. Let's do some of these microgreens in here. Bear with me, I don't have my glasses on. Mustard greens for a microgreen salad. These are all mustard greens. Kind of says in our area April or June, but we're going to have ours inside getting them kind of jump started, so it's not really going to affect us. The other microgreens I have, brassicas, and same time frame on the planting, but these would be good salad mixes. That's what they're going to be. So I just want to show you a couple different methods on how to start your seeds. We'll get a couple of these going. What I'm going to do on this, if I can get the package open, folks, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if that's going to make the video. Over here sneezing. Just going to cut the top off of this thing and get these open. Okay, so microgreens, if you've ever heard anybody growing microgreens, okay, so they'll put them in like a tray. They'll put them in like a tray like, well, I don't have one here to show you. I guess I do. Oh, man, get these down if there's not a wasp or anything on it. Let me show you real quick. You can use a humidity dome like this, and you can plant things in here as well. And then your humidity dome, you want to keep it good and moist. And I can do that, and I might fill this up with some cocoa and do it this way. But these trays, so like that would be the kind of tray you could do your microgreens in. Now these are just cheap, but you fill it all up with soil or cocoa, whatever medium you want to use. You put microgreens all across it. You really put them on there thick, and they grow up to about, I don't know, this high, about good 3 or 4 inches, and then you cut them and harvest them that way. You never really have to feed them anything as far as nutrients and everything. They have everything they need from that seed to go ahead and germinate and produce, and they'll get up. And if you didn't know this, microgreens are 40% more nutrition and vitamins than if you grew the plant out to full maturity. So one of these little seeds, I mean, they call them microgreens, but one of these little seeds in there, okay, will produce a full plant. It's not like they're micro and small. That's not what microgreens means. So you can do it that way. Say if you got kale or something, it's the same seeds. Don't get confused. It's not, microgreens doesn't mean it's just going to stay miniaturized, okay, if you're new to gardening or whatever. But yeah, I might put some cocoa in this and just go ahead and do some more seeds this way. And I'm going to throw a whole bunch of microgreens in here and just pick them out that way. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it this way. Oh, this cocoa is really dusty. Trying to do everything one-handed here. Tell you what, I'm just going to set this camera down and just fill it up. It'll just be a lot easier with 2 hands. And the wife's cooking dinner, chicken fried steak, so I don't want to miss out on that. So I can't spend a whole lot of time with you guys. Although, big shout out to everybody down at the hall. Love you guys. Love it. You guys are awesome. You know, y'all get to see me in person every week, and I really appreciate y'all and subscribing to the channel. Makes a big difference. Appreciate it all. I'm a totally different person away from work, trust me. I'd much rather be doing this kind of stuff. All right, so we got a tray set up. Gonna lightly sprinkle. I mean, you want to make it thick, but like I said, you really want to spread it out, because I'm going to go ahead and say what I'm going to do here. I'm going to cut this other package open, because 2 packs will probably do this area right here. All right. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for that. And then I'm going to, you know what? I didn't take you through a rock wool. Okay, so if I was going to do this in rock wool, you're going to do a starter in that, all right? So you have your rock wool cube with a little small hole in it, about like yay. You would take a seed, I'll just pretend this is a seed. You take a seed and you drop it down in there, just like that. And then you would kind of cover that a little bit with rock wool, all right? And then you would just wet it, and like I said, it would be down in one of like these right here, one of these squares, and you would just wet it, and then you would get your sprouts that way. And you don't have to remove it from the, because the roots are going to go down through there. You don't want to remove it from the rock wool. When you just want to transplant the whole thing over, it's not going to hurt the plant to be going down through. The roots will come out. It's not going to hurt it to be going down through the rock wool. And then, like I said, all your roots will make contact with either your cocoa or your soil, however you're growing. So that's that. And then what I'm going to do is I'll show y'all a little trick. You want to keep these warm. You know, if it's getting too cold, you want to have them in a good warm area, okay? So I'm gonna put them on a heat pad and put the heat pad underneath there, and then I have an A-Life. It's called an A-Life thermostat. Okay, and I was using it back in my reptile business to keep your reptiles warm. You have a heat pad under there, and it has a probe on it. Okay, you put that probe under there, and when it gets to like 80 degrees, it shuts off. You know, it just keeps going back and forth and keeps that temperature right where you want it, so your seedlings stay warm. You can't germinate if it's too cold. So let me take you in here, and I'll show you what we got going on here. Okay, so I know everybody don't probably have access to something like this, but let me show you. It's pretty cool in here. Let me turn a light on so we can see what we're talking about here. So this would be where I'm going to start my seed. You know, my seeds are going to get started. I'm going to have them in here. Excuse me. Have them in here, and then I can keep it at the temperature that I want it at. Okay. So you got a mini split up there, keeps the temperature, you know, right where you need it. And then if your humidity isn't high enough, you can go ahead and put a humidifier in here and bump that humidity up. Seedlings want a lot of humidity, okay? So that's why they have that humidity dome out there. And you can just spray that with a spray bottle and keep your humidity up. But what if you're in an area that has too much humidity, okay? And when I say too much, seedlings really aren't too much. But once you get your plants up, and you want to get those plants up and going before you're going to throw them outside into your raised beds or garden or whatever, you don't want it to be super humid, okay? You got to level it out. So I would say probably 70% humidity, somewhere in there, you know. 65, 70 would be good for juvenile plants. And because, you know, you don't want to get powdery mildew, you don't want to get mold, so you want to have some dehumidifiers, okay? So in this room I have one set there. I have one set over there, and then obviously you want some good airflow, so you want to get yourself some good fans. I believe these are Hurricanes. Yep, Hurricanes, and get those set up, okay? If you have tables and you have a flood table like this, you can get your microgreens and your vegetables on these, and what you'll do is you'll come in and water them with RO, you know. If they're in soil, you're just going to be giving them water, and then down here it'll drain. I don't have it in here right now, but there'll be a reservoir in here, or basically just a catch tank, a tub, whatever you want to call it. Have it down here. That way you don't have to. You ever try to do this inside your house, and you know, you're pouring water. You always spill water. It's just going to happen. You're always going to spill water. Well, in here I don't have to worry about it. You know, you just, if some comes out the bottom. In fact, I want it to drain. It comes down at a nice slope, comes through the hole, goes to my catch tub. Okay. So that's how I do that. Now, I won't get into, later I'll make a video and I'll talk to you all about pH, okay? About pH and ppms and things like that. ppms you won't have to worry about, but this is a pH pen, okay? And you're going to want to hit certain pHs for certain plants. Tomatoes are different. Kale is going to be a little different. You can just research it and see what those pH ranges need to be, and get your pHs right, because if your pH ain't right, your plant's not going to uptake the nutrients and everything like they need to be doing. Now, soil's more forgiving, so you got them in raised beds and you're doing soil, your soil's going to buffer some of that, so your pH doesn't have to be just perfect, but you want it in the ballpark, you know what I mean? So anyway, well, just a quick little tour of that, and those are the seeds. I'm going to take a break real quick. I'm going to go run and get some RO water and get these, because you're going to want to, last step in this, well, 2 steps, is you're going to want to give them a little bit of water, and you're going to want to get the heat mats under them and keep them up to the temperature you want. So I'm going to put these probably about anywhere from 70 to 75, you know, and just keep that nice. And always always research your plants. Okay, that'll tell you what they germinate at, or look at the back of the package and set your temperature to that. So that's what I'll do. I'll probably come through these packages, flip them over on the back, and see what the best temperature is to get these going. So, all right, well, hey, thanks for stopping by. I gotta go. I'm gonna go eat chicken fried steak. And appreciate y'all spending time with me. Like, sub, hit the bell. You know what to do. I'll see you guys down at the hall. And there's, oh, hey, look. Hey, you want to be on video? You want to be on camera? Look, honey, come here.
No.
Anyway, she don't want to be on camera. But anyway, we're going to eat. So see you guys later. Bye.